Good afternoon, good morning. It's Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Welcoming you back to another edition of Loyalty Live. In this series, we get the privilege of speaking with the leading agencies, technology partners, and consultants in customer channel and brand loyalty about the technology trends and best practices that impact a brand's ability to drive unique experiences, enhance engagement, but most importantly, drive customer loyalty. Loyalty Live allows for a deeper insight in the state of customer loyalty. As we, as a trade association for the industry, we surface a number of challenges that brand marketers are having in regard to their customer loyalty efforts. These Loyalty Live sessions allow for a unique response from the market with regard to these challenges, which will in turn help brands understand and evaluate the challenges and opportunities before them. Today, we had the pleasure of speaking with Suman, who's the head of product management and digital software and solutions, and Padma, who is a product manager at TCS Customer Intelligence and Insights for Retail. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, doing great, Mark, and great talking to you and everyone here. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Great to be
here. Great. Looking forward to the discussion. When we start these off, we'd like to get to know the people we're speaking with on a more personal level. So we'd love to know a little bit about both of you. First, Suman, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your current role with TCS? It would be great to know that.
Sure. So been with the industry for more than 2 decades now. And started off with CRM as a domain, as a functional focus. And I think that has been sort of the foundation for me when we branched off from CRM into analytics. And now we are talking of loyalty and customer engagement as a strategy. So given all those years spent along with customer domain, with our customers, understanding their customer journeys, and then eventually making the natural progression from transactional CRM to analytics and then customer engagement. I think that's been the journey so far. And current role, as you talked about, part of the product management team is digital software and solutions unit in TCS. What is interesting about that is TCS is widely known as the leading IT services and consulting organization. But within that, we are unique in a way. We are the software unit with TCS, and we focus on leveraging AI ML as our core existence and foundation, and use that to translate into meaningful and differentiated customer experience for our customers and their customers from thereof. So that's been the journey. And over to Padma. Padma is our expert in retail and loyalty. So over to you, Padma.
Sure. Thank you, Suman. Hey, Mark.
How are you?
Good to be connecting with you today. Yeah, great. Thank you. So I've been working with Suman currently in this area of analytics, customer analytics. I started off 15 years back. We were doing point of sale and loyalty solutions for customers. So it has been a great journey. Working on customer loyalty, and then to analytics, customer analytics, and then now to what we are talking of as the new realm of loyalty as well, right? Which we are terming as intelligent loyalty. So that's been the journey so far. And I've always been associated with products, software products of TCS. So that's been something unique in my journey as well.
Okay. Real quick, we also like to know a fun fact. Suman, is there a fun fact about you? You like to scuba dive, you have 14 kids, you run triathlons, what's a fun fact?
Well, I'm a little bit of a trekking junkie, you can say. So whenever I get an opportunity, go out to hike and trek. And recently took my son onto the same sort of trekking expedition. And it was first time for him, but it was good to see that at least some genes have passed. So the trekking bug has hit him also. He's now preparing for his main board exam, but as soon as that is done, we will hit the roads and trails again. So
well, that's great.
That's something different. Yeah.
Okay. And Padma, what about you? Do you have fun facts, something you have, a passion of yours?
Yeah, I'm actually a classical singer here. So I sing in some concerts, specifically devotional music. I'm really fond of that. Yeah, that's what I do when I have time.
All right, great. I think we touched on this a little bit, but Suman, it would be great to know a little bit more about TCS. I think people are fairly familiar with TCS. If you could give us kind of a more detailed overview of the company, what you guys do, how you do it. You talked about your transition from CRM, industries that you work with. That would be great to know for our audience.
Sure. So TCS is one of the leading global IT system consulting and system integration company with the focus on digital and business solutions for our customers. We are, in fact, one of the top employers globally with over 590,000 employees operating out of 46 countries. So pretty large spread across different markets, industries, and customer domains. And that gives us a great spread to understand our customers' core challenges, contexts. And it's the contextualization of customer challenges with unique domain expertise that TCS brings on board is what makes us differentiated in our offerings and services to customers. And in fact, as part of the journey, apart from services, what I was talking of is software and growing business and revenue through software has been a key strategic focus for TCS as well. And digital software and solution is one unit. Of course, TCS has a larger focus on software through its strategic growth business units. We are one of them, being digital software and solutions. And our focus has been on leveraging AI ML to start connecting the data across organization silos, and more importantly, how do you activate that AI into customer experiences, value growth, and also operational efficiencies. So that's been our, you can think of our light or spotlight under the sun. And that's been what we have been focusing upon. Towards this, for the market, I'm speaking from a digital software and solution perspective now, not overall TCS. Overall TCS, of course, is spread across all the industry verticals with a very rich suite of solutions and services. But speaking about digital software and solution, we focus on two domains, customer analytics and customer intelligence domain, which we will talk about today, how we bring that together towards this vision of loyalty as an outcome. And that's what we want to cover more. But apart from that, we also have solutions around the broader enterprise efficiency, enterprise resilience aspects, which we increasingly see as the domains coming together, especially post-pandemic. The whole concept of customer experience also became safety as a new CX, right? So how do the two worlds come together across the connected enterprise and connected consumer space is what we focus upon through our solutions.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we are, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, great. One of the things that we love to do when we speak with brands, the technology partners, and the agencies is understand how they define certain terms within the industry. Customer loyalty, obviously, is the most important one for us. We'd love to get a detailed understanding of how you define customer loyalty and what it means to you and to TCS.
Sure. So our journey towards loyalty, of course, started with the traditional industry vision of loyalty as a function. And that's where we had worked with customers, both on the coalition loyalty side as well as individual member programs. But over the period of time, and as we have been speaking significantly based on the experience around AI, ML analytics that we have had, we see that the industry is in a classic point right now to have or bring to bear all the technologies that are available today to move from loyalty as a function to loyalty as an outcome. So when we talk of loyalty as a concept, the concept that we believe and we see a strong relevance with our customers is when we change the perspective and dynamics of changing the conversation from loyalty as a function to loyalty as an outcome, because the moment you do that, you start thinking of consumer journeys, you start thinking of delivering experiences that evokes strong brand emotions and connect, and also which connects the consumer to the reality of their day in life, delivering that experience that really binds them to their brand, not just to the brand, but to their values and beliefs also. So that's how we define loyalty. And Padma, I would invite Padma to talk more about that, because she is living the, every day with customers through their loyalty vision and loyalty directions that they're taking as an organization. And over to you, Padma, if you want to add a few sentences to that.
Definitely, yeah. We are seeing loyalty not anymore as just a program, just an initiative to get customers into signing up for something, but it's as an emotion that we want to evoke for customers. That's what we define, where the customer sees the brand as a true partner in their day-to-day lives. And that's what we think loyalty should end up at, right? To be a partner, a true partner in customers' lives. And that's where we're talking about loyalty as an emotion that needs to be evoked. And that's our view about loyalty as well.
There's definitely a great deal of interest in emotional loyalty. We did a paper on that late last year. We were doing it this year. It's something we have conversations with brands on a daily basis about it. How do you create unique emotional engagement? How do you measure that? And how do you go through a process that can be sustainable, both short and long term, to impact customer loyalty?
Yeah. Right, absolutely. And that's where, connecting to the various beliefs and the values that consumers attach to the brand, that becomes very important. So that is what we talk to our customers about, and there's a strong relevance and resonance that we find with our customers.
Okay, great. When you look at customer loyalty, what are a couple of successful strategies or program tactics that you see that are working with your clients to drive customer loyalty? Can you give us an example or two?
Sure. So when it comes to strategy, as we were saying, that expanding the loyalty boundary to connect to customers' journeys, and when we talk about journeys, we are talking of their day in lives and the way they interact with the brand and the services. That's where if you start embedding loyalty into their journeys, it becomes very effective. And that's where, apart from the traditional measures that we typically look into in terms of enrollment, in terms of average order value or revenue per member, apart from that, we see that's where the emotional connect with the brand really starts picking up. And then you start looking into engaging into the understanding the sentiments, the emotions at different points of interaction. So taking that strategy or a shift from traditional loyalty as a function to more looking into loyalty in the context of consumer day in life journeys really works better, and even more so when you try to expand your loyalty program design, not just to an individual member, but bring along his network, his immediate family and his network of friends and family together, where it really expands from loyalty into the network effect of loyalty. And towards this, I'll invite Padma to talk about a few examples that we have seen working very well. And while we talk about program design, I think what is becoming increasingly important is also the aspect of giving confidence of consumers on their data privacy. And Padma can take some examples of specific examples, how even communicating that to consumers as part of loyalty program really builds that confidence, and also the connect with the brand in terms of safety and confidence of working and together being partner with the brand on a day-to-day journey and day-to-day life. Yeah, Padma, over to you.
Yeah, Suman, absolutely. So we've been interacting with many brands on their program strategy. So I'll just take a couple of examples here. One, was a client with the travel industry. We all know that loyalty is pretty saturated in that industry. So as to say that they started off initially, and it's like most of the customers are today in the highest tier, right? And the privileges that were there are now, it's like it's applicable for everybody. So it was very interesting there, on how we worked with them to expand this, on how can we foster more participation in the programs. So we were looking at aspects, as Suman was mentioning, as to bringing on family members together, earning together. Although it's been there for a while, to really pick it up well. So that was one thing. And it was also important that, where there is very limited connectivity, the experience of customer is not lost, right? So there is continuous engagement with the customer. There is, the customer is able to, experience the same kind of loyalty, whether there is internet connectivity or not. So that was something very unique to the industry that we saw, and it was crucial, for the success of the entire loyalty strategy. So that was one example. The other one, of course, we had a specialty retailer who was looking to giving better experiences. So while at stores, they were focusing on experiential, retail to make sure that the customers participate more in the programs. This was also an aspect about privacy that Suman touched upon. So we, believe that customer data privacy is of utmost importance, and all customer data needs to be managed at one place, right? So there is no duplicacy of data managed in multiple places. So it was important for the loyalty to work with customer data and give them seamless experience, but not necessarily working along with the PI data of customers. So that's something that we were able to work with uniquely with them, that we don't duplicate any kind of PI data or customer data for the loyalty to work, right? It stays where it is, and we work along with the brand to make sure that the privacy is taken care of. Yeah.
Right. So, Mark, basically, these two examples highlight while traditional member and program designs are always there, but there are always opportunities for the brand to differentiate in its loyalty program and therefore connect with the customer. The first example that Padma talked about is how do you connect in day in life of consumers in an offline online mode? It need not be that you're already connected to a platform, always in a physical environment where your services are there, but how do you really make it contingent and part of their day in life journey, whether they're in your stores or not, or whether they are in your digital environment or not. That's the first one. And the second one is about using privacy as a tool to really generate that confidence and therefore build that trust with the brand and while consumers are interacting in your loyalty programs. So both these can become very effective tools to really highlight on your program design and kind of the value proposition of the program to customers.
Okay. When you look at metrics, KPIs, are there specific metrics and KPIs that you are working with that you think are very important for your brands to have and to understand?
Sure. Maybe Padma, if you want to talk about some of the KPIs. Yes, please.
Sure. So yeah, Mark, we are seeing that, typically when we discuss about KPIs that measure the loyalty program success, the standard KPIs that we see are basically the participation rates, right? How is your loyalty program able to get to better participation rates of customers? So that's something that we see. And there are, of course, typical measures in terms of, how is the average order value, frequency, recency of loyal customers different from that of the other customers? So are your loyalty strategies really working well, right? So these are some of the KPIs that we see. And of course, of late we are seeing brands work on survey related KPIs, right? What is the net promoter score, and what is the influence score that your loyal customers have over the others? Also trying to showcase what is the value that loyalty has brought in. So these are some of the things that we see on a daily basis. But we are also seeing some advancements in that to get to more satisfaction scores and more analytics driven scores, like the improvement in lifetime value of a customer being also used. And maybe Suman, you could touch on the emotional loyalty that we are
Sure.
also seeing.
Exactly. Sure. Thanks, Padma. So Mark, as you also highlighted, emotional loyalty and the emotional connect is becoming a key driver. And that is where we are working with some of our customers to look into some of the leading edge capabilities where we can bring in emotion detection algorithms at the point of consumer connect and experiences, start measuring that emotional response and use that as a KPI to see how effective your loyalty program or customer touch points are going to be. And you see, the traditional metrics of loyalty programs have all been rather lag factors or lagging indicators where you look into the program effectiveness post facto. But the focus is now to move into more leading indicators, and therefore, how can we really understand, measure sentiments, measure topics that are of interest to consumers, translate that into beliefs and values that the consumer sees in the brand, and then relate those values and beliefs into the kind of emotion that it invokes, and therefore translates into the brand connectivity through their day in life journey. So that's where some of the KPIs around emotion detection, around brand connect, around brand topics is what we are working with some of our customers to get to a more leading indicator of loyalty program and success of loyalty programs.
Okay, great. When you look at a piece of advice, brands are looking for simplicity. They're looking for a way to enhance their customer loyalty programs. You talked about emotional loyalty. You talked about some of the metrics you're looking at, and emotional loyalty is very important. But if you were to give one piece of advice to a brand who is looking to enhance their customer loyalty efforts, what would that be?
Yeah. So while it's a single advice, but I would like to break it into two. One is look into loyalty as an outcome. And in order to deliver loyalty as an outcome, how do you connect in their day in lives through their journeys? And that's when your true connect of the brand and the loyalty really becomes meaningful to consumers. So if I'm to leave one advice, that will be look into loyalty as an outcome and deliver that outcome through their day in life journey. I think that would be the advice from our side.
Okay. Any follow up on that, Padma?
Yeah, I think that's what we propose to our customers. And and another thing that we say to reach loyalty as an outcome, they have the wealth of data that's collected through loyalty, which we think should be leveraged to the fullest. So that would be a big piece of advice. So they do have a lot of data that can be leveraged to understand customers better, and hence give them better experiences leading to loyalty as an outcome. So it's
Right.
with brands to leverage. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean, look at ways of how to make your loyalty program more intelligent, more personalized, and leverage that wealth of data to really bring in analytics into your loyalty to establish those connects that we were talking about.
Okay. And the last question, what can we do as a trade association for industry to help you and help others in regard to their customer loyalty and customer experience journeys?
A great question, Mark. I think, the whole loyalty program is getting a sort of revamp, the way brands are looking at consumer engagement. And as an association, if we start building up that shared belief and thought process, if we feel that loyalty as an outcome is what will really drive the brand and the success of the brand with the consumers, I think as an association, if you can help us and the consumers in educating the power of loyalty as an outcome, the power of emotional loyalty and connecting to consumer journeys in their day in life, I think that will really lead the industry to the next generation of loyalty, not just from an industry perspective, but also from consumer experiences that it can deliver. That would be one thought where I think it will be immensely helpful to have your association supporting this whole theme of loyalty as an outcome.
Absolutely, very focused on that. So it's great to hear that's an area that we should focus on, because it is a big focus throughout our client meetings and our brand meetings, and just the brands that come to us, they're looking for changes to the programs, right? A lot of them are locked into long-term contracts. The technology may or may not work. It may not be providing that measurable return they need. So they need advice, and they want to have loyalty as an outcome. And we've always believed that customer loyalty should be the most important facet of all brands, and experiences, engagement, all lead up to a loyal customer. So it's glad to hear your perspective. So been a very interesting interview, Padma, Suman. It was great getting to know you personally, and also learning about some things that you're doing and how you are helping brands in their customer loyalty efforts. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thanks a lot, Mark. It was great talking, and I really would love to know more about your association's efforts towards loyalty. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Make sure you join us back again soon for another edition of Loyalty Live. Have a wonderful day.